All right, guys, we have a different kind of video for you all today, and it's something that I have not necessarily done on the channel yet. And we're gonna take this box of fishing lures, open them up, and see if we can't catch a couple bass today, okay? So, unboxing video. This is actually my Wheeler's 6 picks from Academy. And I don't, randomly get to pick the box. You don't know what colors are in there. You don't know what is gonna happen, what size heads, all that stuff. I have obviously an understanding of what's in the box, but I don't know exactly what we're gonna get. So that's part of the fun of getting these boxes like this, is just being able to open up a box and you don't know what you're gonna get, right? It's fun. So let's open this guy up and see what's in here, and then we're gonna have to decide how we're gonna utilize these lures and how we're gonna get bites. First off, some Pro Mix line real quick, having that 30-pound braid, that's great to have. I have the line on my rods right now, so I'm good to go, but that 30-pound braid is definitely actually my favorite. Like swim jig braid, also really good flipping braid if you like to use braid for pitching and flipping and stuff. If you're using a leader line, really good braid to use that. So definitely gonna put that to the side. We have the lines perspective from the lure perspective. First off, number one, a DT8. A DT8, and that's dark brown craw. So we got a crawdad color in the fall. Not the worst thing you have. He is dark brown. We actually have that one, so we'll be good to go. So we have dark brown craw. Number two is the OG Slim, and this is in crawdad as well. So we got 2 crawdad patterns. I'm hoping we get 1 shad pattern. Just one. We gotta get 1 shad pattern, because I think the water's pretty clean right now. So we're gonna hope we can get 1 shad. And last is a tiny 4, and that is the green gizzard shad. So that's a good one to have. So we have him. Ooh, Tennessee shad. We're on the Tennessee River, Tennessee shad, 3-inch mare. All right, and then we get, last but not least, we have a pack of the hybrid swim bait jigs in the 1/4 ounce right there. Hybrid swim bait jig. That's what all comes in this box. We got them all set. Now we got to determine what we're gonna rig up, how we're gonna catch them. So what's gonna be fun in this video is I'm gonna explain to you how I'm using each bait, where I'm gonna be targeting it, like why I'm gonna pick one bait. So right now, if you could look up here, Nick, we have a rocky bank. It's pretty steep. There's a bluffy bank. So the first bait that I'm actually gonna choose, pick up a crankbait rod, and because it's a little steeper bank, I'm gonna pick a DT8. Okay, so we're gonna put this DT8 on, and we're gonna go cranking a little bit, see if we can catch one. So we got that guy rigged up. I'm gonna rig up all my rods just to make sure they're ready to roll. I'm gonna put this guy, I think this is a great crankbait. It's a little bit bigger profile. I'm gonna put this guy in my box right now. I'm gonna hold off on him, and then I'm gonna have 3 of these. I'm gonna definitely rig up the tiny 4, and we're gonna rig up the swim bait. So let's make sure we have 3 rods, 3 of the 4 baits rigged up, ready to roll, and we should be pretty solid. Let me see here. I like challenging myself, and I think the key is with this is it's fun, because obviously, I don't know if I would pick a crawdad color crankbait right now. I'd probably pick more shad colors. It might be the color that I need. The one that I have the most confidence in catching one on for sure is gonna be the mare with the 1/4 ounce jig head. I mean, I think this is sort of on par, sets up well. So I'm gonna go ahead and rig up one of these guys, 1/4 ounce Tennessee shad, which is actually one of them. I mean, he's not my favorite color, but he's one that I've caught a lot of bass on. I don't throw him all the time with a gizzard shad, so I think there's times that DC actually loves this color. He throws it more than anything. The hybrid swim bait jig, so it has a rotating, basically a screw lock is what it is. So you're rotating that bait on that screw lock just like that. So now, boom. Okay, we're gonna rig this guy up on a spinning rod. You could throw it on a bait caster as well, because 1/4 is big enough. I'm really excited about this. I am, because I think it's challenging to sometimes put yourself into hey, I'm gonna catch a fish on this, this, and this, right? So I'm gonna have to change my tactics and maybe the places that I'm fishing accordingly to where I'm throwing the bait. So you're gonna learn a little bit maybe what I'm gonna target with each bait. So they might not be the exact same, because bass do a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. So, all right, got those 3 up there. We're set to go. Let's go fishing. All right, so first things first, we're gonna pick up the DT8, start cranking this guy a little bit. Water's not got too much stain to it, so we're gonna go ahead and a little bit of grass. Just really trying to hit the bottom. See if I can't get a bite or 2. They eat a lot of crawdads in the fall too. I think a lot of times people just think off the rip that you're gonna have to throw like shad patterns. I do typically throw a lot of shad patterns in the fall, but it doesn't mean you have to always throw a shad pattern. Biggest thing with a crankbait right now is just making sure that I'm hitting the bottom. I am in 10 feet of water, so I don't necessarily have to parallel this guy too tight, because it is a DTA. He's probably gonna hit the bottom in like 7 to 9 on a cast. We are cranking down a little bit of a, he's not super bluffy right here. I mean, it looks bluffy, but you see it's like flat right here. Ooh. Oh, Mr. Bass, Mr. Bass, please bite my crankbait. Mr. Bass, Mr. Bass, please. This is a good spot. There's actually current coming around that rock right there. This would be a good place for one to set at for sure. Now, to be fair, I've not fished out here for a while, so I don't really know. I'm not using an excuse, but I wanted it to be that way because I felt like it would be cool to show, like, hey, look, we're just going fishing like you would, you know, and trying to figure it out. And I'm not planning on fishing spots that I'm like, oh, this is a good spot. I'm trying to go and actually explore, which is what's fun about fishing, is like exploring and trying to find new fishing spots and trying to find new fish, right? Well, that's a tree. Got a tree bass. Mr. Tree, why you gotta play me like that? Oh. I've caught a lot of fish over the years, like snapping it. Like I do that, like, you know, you try to ricochet that off there, and like you can just get, like sometimes I'll have a fish, especially in the winter time when it's really, really cold, those fish will just like take it off of a stob because they're sitting there looking at it, like they're sitting there pinning it, trying to pin it down almost. It's a good way to catch one. Well, guys, that was not the best start. So let's go ahead and throw a swim bait out there and see if we can't fish down the bank a little bit right here. Rock got me. So far we've caught a rock and a lay down. See, that it happens to all of us. Nick's good at editing, so it typically doesn't make the video, but in this case, you guys are seeing it all. Uncut. I'm not gonna say uncut, but there might be a scenario where like, yo, this is not a great cast. All right, so we just fished a little rocky bank, no dice. Let's go ahead and strap these rods down. We're gonna switch it up a little bit. Let's keep moving, looking for something else. We definitely have not found the mother lode. All right, so we're gonna switch this up a little bit, guys. This is like, you see sort of, you can't probably tell right now, this is like 2 feet deep on top. See some bait fish up there. There's grass all out here, so we're gonna just try to fish that swim bait on the outside edge of that grass and see if we can't get a bite on this. This just looks promising anyway. Big like grass flat, heck yeah. All right, so there we got a little bit of that grass. You gotta take it off, you can tell. I just figured, you know, there might be some fish still in that grass, and you just sort of, just meaning like grass in general could be good to fish. This time of year is typically the last little bit of the grass is dying off. So the one thing that I am doing with the swim bait though is like I'll make a cast and I'll let it hit the bottom. I'll slowly wind it and then I'll kill it. Then I'll let it I'll wind it, then I'll kill it. Then I'll wind it, then I'll kill it. That sort of helps me to sort of stay in contact with the bottom more. And I don't know if you always have to. It just depends on how deep you are. But like in this scenario, exactly what we're trying to do. Why not? Again, I'm not even joking, y'all. I'm just trying to fish stuff that I'm trying to think like, all right, where would I throw that swim bait? Like somewhere like a flatter area where I could reel it and get a bite or two. Okay, let's roll. All right, guys. So we started on the main. Now we're sort of sliding up into a creek arm, sort of more of a gradual sloping bank. The grass wasn't good to us. The rock bank wasn't good to us, but you got to keep moving. Like, you can't get discouraged. That's what it's all about. Like, the fish could just be, you know, in one area of the lake and not another, or like one zone. Like, you keep running the same stuff and go. I think there's one just boiled right there. It looked like, I don't know what it was, but it looked like there was a fish boiled. Fish or two in here that are, All right, there's one. Oh, he come off. Hey, we got a bite though. Dang, first bite. That one was interesting, like how he bit it. Like, he bit like right next to the boat. Like, he was, so there's been some fish just sort of boiling around in here, picking up that little flat OG tiny, which is, you know, gonna represent a real small shad. That's exactly why I sort of picked it up first, because it felt like that was gonna be the best bait to resemble a shad. When you get up here shallow, there's another fish just boiled up there super shallow. Look like it. Typically when you get sort of towards this time of year, the fish boil on, like they don't really blow up on a lot of stuff. You'll see like a small little boil or something will give you a sign the shad will move around. All right, let's just try a swim bait. Switching to swim bait because they are boiling. Like, all these fish that are out there. It's like, I just saw another one boil right there. Like, they look like they're big fish, whatever they are. There's one. Swimmer. Out there in that bait, guys. Ha-ha, there we go. Got our first bass. Jumped one off on a crankbait and just threw that out there. There's been a lot of activity going on out in this area. I'm actually gonna drop the poles. Seems like I saw some fish boiling behind me. Saw some bigger fish out here doing some stuff too. So obviously there's a decent amount of bait presence in this area. That smaller swim bait. I mean, this is the exact setup out of the box. All right, first fish. Caught one on the swimmer. Let's go ahead and throw that crankbait a little bit more now. Look at there might be some stripe. Look, there were stripers maybe. I don't know what that is. They gotta be big. Bro, I'm telling you, they're big. I'm telling you, they're big, whatever they are. I might come back out here and figure it out, but all right, now we got one down. Let's go ahead and throw a crankbait a little bit. I like doing that, but let's see if we can't crank this bank. This is a perfect setup. There's bait present, water's a little stained. You got a 45-degree bank, sort of a flatter bank, sort of transitioning into a little bit steeper bank and a creek arm. This is exactly what I would be expecting to catch fish on right now. Like, this is perfect. Water's a little bit more stained than on like your main lake areas, because like a lot of times your main lake's going to be a little bit cleaner. That sucker doinked it. I'm like, holy moly, what the heck are you? So my crankbait's going right. So when your crankbait's going right, real quick here, I'm also going to tell you guys just like a little bit. I grab a pair of pliers and tweak it just to left. You're going to go the opposite way. So if you feel like your crankbait's still going just tad right, so I'm going to tweak it a little bit more. I don't want to go too much first. Okay, get this guy down. You want to make sure, I must have hit a couple rocks right there and it knocked it out of tune or something, which that can happen. That feels good. So now my crankbait's pretty straight. Like, you don't want a crankbait that's going to the side, left or right. So whenever crankbait's going to the right side, make sure to tweak it left. If it's going left, tweak him right. That line ties everything. A lot of bait presence. So I really like what we got here going right here. The bait's present. You're seeing it on 2D. Look right here. All right, guys. See, like, you can just tell there's a lot of bait and activity. That's exactly what you're wanting to see. I mean, the swim bait obviously caught that fish, but I'm trying to challenge myself. We had the first bite on the tiny. It should be against the law. So we play this game called we call it Perudo.
And so it's like basically BS, right? You call it bull crap, right? So whenever now is the point where I love to play my game. Whenever I go down a bank and I'm fishing down through there and I don't get a bite when I should feel like I should have got a bite, I call Perudo. That's how I feel right now. But that little beaver hut right there, yeah. We said we gave it an hour and a half. It's not hitting. Okay, so we just switched up. Got back more Maine. There was a lot of fish in that area, just not a ton of bass, it seemed like. So didn't really have luck on the first bluff wall with a crankbait. So like when the water's pretty clean like this, I'm just thinking like, let's keep sort of switching it up, get out here and just wind the swim bait down these rocks. It's a great way to get some bites. See if we can't. Wind's starting to blow, sun's getting up. Be a great way to catch a couple of fish right now for sure. There it is. There he is. Oh, it's a nice one, boys. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Swim bait action. Switched it up. There you go. That's it right there. Switched it up from the pocket back to another little fluffy wall. Rather than going with the crankbait, swapped it out to the swim bait. Water was a little cleaner. Got a nice quality largemouth bass. Heck yeah. We might have figured out the pattern for us today. Every single time. You did have a bite on the small crankbait, but switched it up. Nice quality, probably 2.5 pounder. We're gonna let that one go. All right. Hey, might just be a little pattern. Let's go ahead and fix the swim bait and get back out there and catch another one. Got one. Not as big. There you go. Little spotted bass. All right, we're gonna let that guy go. So this has really been the big key already. So this is a little steeper portion of this bluff. You can tell how this bluff sort of sets up. I've been paralleling it in about 6 to 8 feet of water. I mean, our boat's sitting in about 14 to 18. And so it stair steps down, but you're just basically trying to make the best cast you can. And you're trying to rewind it too fast. So a lot of those fish are suspended on these bluff walls. They sit just how like these crevices are right here. You can sort of see up there like a crevice where the water would be up. A lot of these fish will set on those little crevices and suspend on the bluff wall, and then you'll be able to throw that swim bait by there. But I feel like it's just slow, you know, you're not keeping it on the bottom, and it's sort of different than fishing those places where there was grass and that kind of stuff, you know, where you have like a point or something. You're sort of a steadier retrieve as you're winding down through these places. So pretty cool though. Hey, this might be the deal.
There he is.
We got a smallmouth trifecta. Look at that. Not a big one. Not a big one. We got a smallmouth. That's literally, we hit the grand slam right here on this video. Smallmouth, largemouth, spotted bass, all here on the Tennessee River. I gotta say, that is pretty cool. I've done it several times, but I don't know how many times I've done it. I mean, it doesn't happen every day, that's for sure.
Never on a box of mystery baits either.
Hey, the trifecta on a box of mixed. Hey, that is true. Caught all 3 species of bass. I mean, technically, you could add one more in there as a mean mouth, and that's a cross between a smallmouth and a spotted bass. But all right.
There's one. Oh, yeah, there we go. Not a big one. Another spotted bass. There you go. All right. I mean, I love catching fish. I just love catching fish. That fish is in some shade. You know, only having a few hours this afternoon. I wanted to go catch some bass. I want to show you guys sort of a little bit about what I was going to do and a little bit more about like, hey, how you break down a body of water. Sort of taking what you have in a box. You're just sort of literally looking at what you got in the box and you're saying, okay, what do I throw? How do I throw that? And so we went several different ways to fish these lures to get bites. Obviously it seems like the swim bait, that mare with that jig head, the hybrid swim bait jig, seems like it's definitely the bite getter today, which is typical in the fall and the wintertime when they're really keyed on, you know, smaller bait. But obviously it just depends on the lake you're fishing. You know, if I was going to be on some other lakes, that DT8 might be the perfect color, the bait to catch them on. And then other lakes, it might be tiny. So, or even, you know, OG. So figuring that out is what it's all about, and challenging yourself. I mean, obviously it's fun to not know what color you're going to get, not know all those things, and then ultimately go out here and try to catch a fish on them. Oh yeah, Mr. Spotted Bass. All right. Now we're having fun. He's got a little, I don't know, he's Mr. Spot. He's still a spot. I'll let him go. This is fun. I feel like I'm a kid again. Wandering a swim bait, just feeling that thump. It's what it's about. Wind's blowing. Don't make it too complicated. Golly, these spotted bass are in here. Another one. That one hit on the fall. Just to give you guys a good understanding, we're sitting in 21 foot of water right here. So 21 feet of water right next to the bluffs. That's a sheer bluff wall. A lot of those fish are really just down there and probably like 4 to 6 feet. And I feel like as it gets colder in the winter, it'll probably be deeper, but right now it does seem like that's the depth zone they're sitting at. All right. Nope. That rock felt good though. All right, guys, that was a lot of fun. Obviously, you transitioned from, you know, had one bite on tiny. Didn't throw this guy a ton, but definitely this spring I'm gonna be throwing him a lot, and even into the winter if the water gets a little more stained, I think that'll be the key. But the key to the day was definitely this guy right here. Caught several fish, only used 2 of these, and that's really an awesome thing about that screw lock. It's a little bit cumbersome to get it on, but when you put that screw lock on there, you lock it in place, you get a lot more out of these 3-inch mares than you will if you didn't have that. So overall, that was a pretty good day, and if you guys are looking for a good gift to give to someone who loves to fish, you want a little surprise, these Wheeler's 6 picks, they're available in stores and Academy. I'll drop a link below. It's been a heck of a lot of fun, and we'll see you guys on the next video. See y'all.